Welcome to the Business Spotlight Series. I'm Rick Plaskett, a certified business and leadership coach here in Columbus, Ohio. And today, my guest is Kim Shoemaker. She is the CEO of Acloche. Acloche is a contingency recruiting company here in Ohio and across the entire United States. As we talk with her today, we're looking for her business challenges, the best practices that she's had in the company, and share a little peek behind the curtain of what it's really like to build and operate a business. If this is your first time on the channel, be sure to like and subscribe so that you get notifications of our future conversations. Hey, Kim, welcome and thank you for being with us here today.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me to kind of talk about Acloche and what we are.
Yeah, super. Let's start off with that. If you would give the audience just a brief overview of your background and dig into Acloche, because I think there's a uniqueness about the company that I think is worthy of telling the story.
Thank you. So I've been with Acloche for quite a while now, but I started off in the accounting department, overseeing the accounting department. From there, I kind of escalated into over the accounting department and the IT department. And really, I've kind of had my hands on a lot of different things since I've been here. My background is really accounting, but I have a lot of knowledge in the IT area. I have also worked in our marketing area and our sales area and our operation area, kind of really overseeing the growth of this company and how we can move forward and be an asset to our clients. I became the CEO in January of 2010, and I have been doing that role ever since, really trying to focus on how we can be more integral to our communities and to our clients. And Acloche is a workforce solutions organization. We focus on staffing. We also have a direct hire division, and we have an HR services division. So in the staffing side, we don't really do what we would consider like temporary staffing. We will do that, but that's not a big bulk of what we do. A big bulk of what we do in our staffing line of business is really kind of complementing our employees, finding that right skill set for our clients that will be a long-term fit. In our direct hire division, we work across the United States and working in a little bit more higher level skilled positions. And again, finding that right skill set for our clients that will be hired onto their payroll immediately and into their culture. We also have an HR services division that really focuses on customers and how we can really help them in their workforce needs, be it we've done employee handbooks for employees, we've done audits in their HR division, and we have a full line of training opportunities in there that we have a list of trainings already that we've created, and we customize trainings for our companies as well. So for instance, one of our more popular one is like a supervisory training. We've all been in the situation where we might have been coworkers with our neighbors, and now all of a sudden we've been promoted and we're their boss. And how do we delineate and differentiate the way that our work styles are and our management skills are to do a change in that role? So we're really what I would consider a full workforce solutions organization.
Super. Thank you so much. Hey, to set the stage for the viewers, Kim, tell us a little bit about what your role is currently. You mentioned a lot of different hats that you wear, but what's the hat that you're wearing right now?
Well, I mean, I think as a CEO, you still wear a lot of hats. So, I mean, pick anything that I said that I've done, and I'm really a roll my sleeves up kind of person. And I work with our senior leadership to make sure that they have all of the tools to be successful. So, I could be working with our senior leadership on sales models, and I do on a frequent basis. I really, really enjoy getting out and meeting our client customer base and really understanding what their struggles are and how we can be an asset to them. I work closely with our marketing department so that in our communities, people know who we are. I very much oversee our IT initiatives and what we can be doing to help our internal teams have the right tools that they need to move it forward. So not only as a CEO setting the vision, but just making sure everybody has that tools in order to achieve that vision.
Super. You hit on that. Can I dive a little deeper?
Sure.
When you look at all of these different roles, how would you break down your percentage of your focus on what I would call the day-to-day operating of the business versus the visionary, the strategic, and the planning of the business? How would give us a percentage breakdown of those?
Oh, that's a great question. And I think in our industry, it's a very high-paced, high-energy industry. So that percentage is going to change daily, sometimes hourly, depending on what's going on.
Mhm.
I really try to spend a lot of time in strategic planning to making sure that everybody has what they need and that we're really setting the vision on what our long-term and short-term goals are. But I also have a very open door policy that if anybody needs anything that they're struggling with, or needs any support, that I'm here for them. So that's really hard to define a percentage on there because it varies. I mean, realistically, on the hour.
Let's change that question a little bit, maybe, and see if we can't dig in. As you look forward in what's coming next, CEO, leader of the company, typically gives that vision of the future. So, what do you see for your industry in the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, for the industry, it's really kind of hard to say right now because there's a lot of discussion about 2025 and the decline in the population. I just read an article that by 2030, I think it is, that the state of Ohio eligibility of people are going to decline a little more than 5%. So when I'm talking to other industry leaders in the employment services organizations, I mean, we're really kind of skeptical about what 2025 is going to look like. I think we were very optimistic in 2024 that the labor market and the economy was going to be a little more stronger and that there's going to be a lot more need to it. And I think this early in the year for 2025, I just think that there is some skeptical optimism. And then going from there, I don't think that you can plan like we used to be able to plan because there's just so many different variables that are going on in the world. So I think that I don't see a decline in it, but I'm not sure that I see the double digit increases that we have seen probably really since COVID. Now that's what I'm kind of seeing for the industry. Our vision and our plan here for Aclache is to continue to grow. I mean, I want to grow in new lines of businesses. I want to grow in our internal employees' skill sets and their knowledge and their ability, and I want to grow in territories. I'm still focused on that growth pattern that we've been focused on for quite a long time now.
Super. So let's take that. You talked about the planning, you talked about the vision, you talked about the market changing on you. So what's your approach to goal setting? Do you set lots of different goals, or do you focus on just a few? And kind of, you mentioned the unknown. What's the time frame for goals, and how do you share that with your team?
So we have a very structured goal setting. We really work on SMART goals, right? We're really focused on SMART goals and then obtaining those SMART goals. We have set very clear expectations for all of our team and what it looks like for success. What are those different key performance indicators that everybody should really be paying attention to? And then what are the targets and objectives of those? So everybody in my company really knows what their targets, what their objectives are. And what it takes in order to get there. So we're very clear with that. And then we really have discussions about holding everybody accountable to what those key performance indicators are. And if you're not achieving a certain one, what other tools and what other training and what other knowledge can we give you or support can we give you in order to hit there? We actually have a corporate trainer within our organization that is really focused on making sure that everybody has everything that they need to be success. So I believe in really setting a clear expectation for everybody and then holding them
Mhm.
accountable, but giving them the support and the tools in order to achieve it.
Super. And taking that, pivoting a little bit towards, let's talk about your team next. You had mentioned that your industry is in a high turnover, and yet you also shared with me earlier that your team, particularly your key players, have been with you a long time. How would you describe your leadership style in the business?
My leadership style is very much open door. I'm here as a support to our team. I want to set the vision, I want to set the expectation, but I want to be here to support them. If anybody in this company is having any kind of challenge, they know that they could reach out to me directly. Obviously, we have the chain of command, and I'm very big about the chain of command as well and making sure that we're all in the same on the same page, but they know that they could reach out to me. And if they need my support to go to a client meeting or they need my support to try to figure out some challenge that they're having, they know that they could reach out to me. Um, uh, I've been with this company for 25 years, so it has been a long time. But our management team has on average tenure of 13 years, but as an entire
Wow.
company, we have an average tenure of 9 years. So I know personally a lot of these people that work with our company and how much of a passion they have for what they're doing to help people find jobs. So it makes it a little bit easier with that tenure because people know you know how to their personalities, you know their desires, you know what they're struggling with, and you really kind of work together as a team.
Wow, congratulations. Those are some great numbers for you personally and for your entire team. One of the challenges I see with many businesses is when you do have that longevity, there is just the natural human nature to cut, paste, repeat, do what we've always done. And yet, I know in all of that time, you have seen a huge change in the labor market, the requirements. So, what do you see that you think you need to change in the coming years?
No, that's a really good question because I think you're right. I mean, when people are in a certain position for a long time, I mean, I think that they just get inherently used to this is how we do things. Everybody in this company knows that I do not like that saying. This is how we do it. We have to be flexible, we have to be agile, we have to be adaptable to the economy around us and everything that's going on. So I think that we always have to be a solution and really we stop and listen to what the problem is at a customer or an employee, whatever it is that they're looking for to find a job or the employees or the customers trying to find the employees and really come up with creative solutions. I mean, we work together as a team to kind of figure out, okay, this is the problem. Maybe it's a turnover issue at one of our clients. They're having a large turnover issue. I don't think that we can ever say, okay, well, this is how we've always done it. We have to figure out the root cause of what that issue is
Mhm.
and come up with very creative solutions to our clients. That's what they come to us for. That's how we build relationships with them. So everybody in my company knows that we don't just do things the way they're always being done. We have to change. And if COVID has taught us anything, everybody knows that you have to be a little flexible, you have to be agile, and kind of figure out what it means at this point in time based upon the circumstances.
Yeah, super. Hey, Kim, are there many developing leaders inside of your team, your next generation of company leadership?
I hope so. Yeah. I mean, I think at the end of the day, that's really what we're trying to do is again grow our team to the best of what they want to be. And yes, I have some tenure about 13 years with our management team alone, and even with our staffing personnel. I mean, we've got a tenure of 9 years, and I've got a lot of people in our company that are very passionate about what they do. They want to learn, they want to grow, and I want to foster that environment for my team so that they can reach whatever goals that they want to do on a personal career basis.
Awesome, awesome. So let's go down another level. You talked about hiring and that's your business. What's been your approach and what's working now in making that right fit and in ensuring that the people you place are in a position to succeed?
Are you talking internally with my company or are you talking with the placements that we place with our clients or both?
Is there a difference?
Well, I think not really, except that there's circumstances that we can't control when it goes to our
Correct.
clients.
Okay.
So there's a slight difference there, but from the recruiting and sourcing and placement side, no, not really. I mean, this is our core of
Okay.
what we do. We are consistently all of the time recruiting and hiring and looking at the talent and the skill sets that's in our communities. And are they the right fit for Acloche? Because everybody that comes on board with Acloche, even when we put them with our clients, we have our own internal hiring criteria that they have to meet before we would even see, okay, well, which one of our clients would they be a good fit for? So
Mhm.
that is pretty standard across the board, but we're doing this every day, all day, and really kind of getting to know that person. And again, it's all about building relationships. So how do we build a relationship with that person and find out what their passions are, what their desires are, and where their career growth is. And if it's a good fit for Acloche, then we hire them on and then we start talking about different skill sets of what they want to do and where they want to be placed. So I think we'll continue to do that. We do a lot of really understanding what that person wants. We do a lot for our clients. I mean, obviously, we know what we're looking for in our company, but for our clients, we really go and do a deep dive with them to find out like what cultural fit works well for you. What skill set are you looking for? What type of tenure are you looking for? And really get to know what that job is before we'll ever introduce somebody to that as a potential opportunity for them.
Absolutely. You clearly have a deep understanding of hiring, retention, training in that entire market. I had a huge learning when I first started coaching, and this was 17, 18 years ago. I was down in Atlanta, and twice a year I would take my clients to Chick-fil-A headquarters. They had a free tour, and they wanted to tell you about their chicken sandwich and about their philanthropy and about their culture. In taking my team, one of my teams asked the curator of the tour, what is your success and your secret to hiring? Because everybody here and everybody in your stores always seems to be happy. Next thing I know, we are up in Dan Cathy's office and he's telling us his secret sauce to hiring. And he said, we hire on three things. We hire on character first, chemistry second, and capabilities third. And if you think you're going to be joining the Chick-fil-A family quickly, it's going to take time, because those first two take a long time to figure out, does your character and our company culture align? And chemistry, that was the one I took and highlighted 2-3 times, because yes, you and I work together on a regular basis, and it's got to be the good chemistry. When there's good chemistry, there's great results. When there's not good chemistry, it can just become toxic very, very quickly. And so I always coach my clients to imagine chemistry, and this person is calling up and you see the caller ID on your phone. Is this somebody that you know you want to answer because it's going to be a good day in just talking to them? Or is it one of these where you're taking a second to wonder, do I answer this or don't I answer that? And that's real hard to pull out of interview process when, 2-3 interviews in a couple of hours all of a sudden is supposed to indicate the success of a few years. So I can imagine the secrets, and I'm not asking you to share any of those, but I can see the work that you've got cut out for you to have the success and the street credit that you have developed with your company.
Well, thank you.
If
Yeah,
there,
I mean, culture is very important in every organization. And you know, I think clients need to know that. I think corporations need to know that because the employment market is very cyclical. There's a lot of times where there's a lot of job opportunities out there and not a lot of candidates. And then you turn it the opposite way where there's a lot of candidates out there and there's not a lot of opportunities. So people have options today. They have options. So they're looking for that right fit for them. It's not all about a client or a corporation and what's the right fit for them. You've got to have the right fit for the candidate that's walking through the door and making sure that the culture fits what they're looking for as well.
what would be one standard area that you explore to get that right fit?
We do a lot of behavioral questions to kind of find out, like, the past kind of leads to the future, right? So we ask a lot of behavioral questions about situations that people may have been in before, just to kind of see what their reaction is and where they really want to be versus putting them somewhere where they may have had a bad experience before in that type of environment. We know that we're going to have to defer from that and looking somewhere that might fit that right environment for them. And we do a lot of research and a lot of, again, getting to know people and relationship building.
Do you rely on, I hate to use the term personality tests, but Myers-Briggs, disc profile, motivators, strength finders, all of those assessment tools that, in a nutshell, they're not identifying right or wrong, good or bad, but they're identifying who people are and being able to use those to create the right environment. Do you put any credit with those?
I mean, we take a very holistic approach to this. So yes, there's all kinds of different
Awesome.
factors that we take into consideration when we're making a hiring decision. And a lot of times there are assessments involved in that. But I agree with you. You can't take an assessment and make a yes or no answer. It needs to be a piece of the entire puzzle of what you're trying to put together to see if that person is the right fit for the job that you're looking for.
Wow. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So listen, we've certainly covered an awful lot of ground in this conversation today. And for those of you that are watching, I highly encourage you to save this and go back a few times. Kim has just shared a number of great nuggets here. Um, so as we wrap up, before we get into my final question, I like this little section here. It's the rapid fire questions. Just
Okay.
looking for top of your mind. You ready for these? Kind of
I-
fun.
Go
Okay.
ahead and hit me.
Super. Kim, what would you say your key to success is?
I would say my first key to success is probably my team. The team that I have that's working for me, the communication and the follow-up that we work together as a team.
Awesome. Awesome. If you had a piece of advice to give to another business owner, what would that advice be?
Always be prepared to adapt. And the world changes quickly, and the only way that you're going to stay relevant is to change with it.
Super. What's a book that you are reading now or you've read recently that has inspired you?
Well, I'll be real honest with you. I prefer fiction versus. So I think the book I'm reading right now is called Lies He Told Me. However, I have also just recently downloaded an app that provides like concise summaries of many different books, and I am listening to them as summaries when I'm driving in my car. It's introduced me to books that I probably would have never selected for myself. It's expanded my goals and continuing my self growth. I really believe that you need to learn something new every day. So it's been interesting to listen to these summaries, and I have learned something from pretty much every book that I've listened to.
Awesome. Awesome. So, one more question here, and that is if there was one area of your business that you could improve overnight and tomorrow morning it would be exactly the way you want it to be, what would that one area be?
I would say to find a more effective way to generally connect with our customers and our job seekers. I think there's a lot of noise today in the digital content and the communication, which just makes it difficult to create that like authentic connection and relationship.
Great. So, before we get to the final question, Kim, um, if people are watching this and want to connect with you, what's the best way to do that?
I would say to go to our website. It's acloche.com. They can follow us on all of the major social media platforms, or they could reach out to us at our toll-free number, which is 888-608-0889.
Super. And here's the final question, Kim. What do you find most inspiring to you today?
Ooh. Um, I would probably still go with my team, but I would also add in there the innovations that are available today. I mean, I think the new technology and the constant emerging of the AI technology is really going to be interesting on how that's going to help or hurt or whatever it's going to do to impact not only the staffing industry, but the job market in of itself.
Super, super. Hey, Kim, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your journey. And to you, the audience, thank you for watching. We're inspired by listening to these types of interviews, and Kim has definitely given us some great stories on team. I think she's shared that she has a championship team, and you really should be listening to how she built that and how she keeps it, because this is not something that is one and done. This is a constant work to keep something that is both inspiring and motivating to you. So, folks, make it a great day. Bye for now.
Thanks, Rick. Thank you.